Girl Talk. So in today's Girl Talk, I have 6 special guests. This is my sister Kalika, my sister Sadia, my other sister Kiara. That is my brother Tawan, my brother Jamario, and my boyfriend Dre. And today's video will be about relationships. We have questions that need answers, and we're gonna start with the guys with their first 5 questions.
All right. And we figured since this is probably going to be a heated girl talk, we'll go ahead and get it cooking real fast. So the first question is, should there be any communication with an ex or anyone from your past when you're in a serious relationship?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. No. I mean, what do you guys talk about?
Cut them off dead.
So no communication at all.
No communication.
No communication at all.
All right, Dre?
No communication.
I mean, I feel the same way, but let's see. Cause I ain't even talking about me. I'm saying, all right, for like Keith, for instance, all right, let's say you got another somebody, right, and then like Joe come, like he like yo, like you feel me, like you get what I'm saying?
No.
I'm
No.
saying.
If I feel like if you got something tied to that person,
Yeah,
like a
okay,
kid,
yeah, we got a
That's
child
more-
together.
You got
feel
a
me?
kid.
We got a
That's
child
still ex,
together.
but y'all got
So
a
at the
child.
end of the day,
So yeah.
there is boundaries.
Right.
But you know, I've been in a situation where he might have said something that might have crossed that line.
Yeah.
But that's when you gotta be like, no, I'm in a relationship. You can't even do that. That's disrespectful.
Right.
You gotta know your boundaries. That's what it's about.
If you have to have that communication with the ex, then yeah, y'all need to set those boundaries up before, you know.
But if y'all don't have anything tied together,
then
it
ain't nothing
should
to
be
talk
cut
about.
off completely.
Right.
I'm going to concur with the group because I don't want to get silent quick. But I do agree with that. Like, it shouldn't be no communication at all. And definitely, I say if it is where to be that communication, definitely set boundaries and be stern on them, because I feel like with boundaries too, people can try to test them just to see like, okay, you said no, but okay, next again, like, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like if that's true, like, it shouldn't be no communication at all.
Mm-hmm. So our first question is, why is it so hard to be honest through and through? Like, why it's so hard to be honest? Why can't you just tell the truth, the whole truth,
And not beat around the bush.
Right.
Alright, so since we write on papers from left to right, I'm gonna let Dre take this.
To me, it depends on like the situation. Like, if it ain't that serious, then like, and if it ain't gonna hurt anything, then why not just like tell a lie just to save relationship if anything? But personally, me, I'm gonna be honest. So we gotta worry about that.
Okay. So you saying tell a lie to save a relationship?
It depends on how serious
But
it
don't you
is.
think
So,
that's gonna blow up?
When you tell one lie, you do realize you got to tell another one to
Yeah.
cover up that one,
And another
and then
one.
another one to cover up that
And
one.
eventually you end up telling yourself.
And then eventually it's just you will lose a relationship because you lied when you should have
Right.
just been honest
Right.
from the start.
And if somebody finds out in the end, when you could have just told me in the beginning, then we wouldn't have had to go here.
I feel
Right.
like a lie make cause more damage than anything. So it's best to be honest, because you just never know how somebody's going to handle that situation.
Right, and a lie starts many more arguments after that.
And I think also, like, when you lie, you take away my choice, you know, to feel how I want to feel.
Yep.
And, you know, so it's like if you're trying to, like, talk to another female or something, and you're just saying, oh, that's just my friend, you know, you're taking away my choice to, you know, be there or to not be there. Because maybe I would have been alright, you know, eventually, but you took away my choice. So that made the situation 10 times worse.
I feel the same way though. I mean, you gotta be honest, but at the same time, I feel it because I mean, what's the saying? The truth don't hurt you. So I mean, but at the same time, yeah, I
So
agree.
with a lie. So
I
with a
agree.
lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with y'all because like one lie, you gonna need 2 lies, then you gonna need 3 lies. Now you got to cover up
All them lies.
all them tracks. It's just too
And then
much.
when you run out of lies, you got the dummy look on your face.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with that. Like, honesty is the best method. But the piggyback off, I think I get what he's saying is like, Are you saying like a little, like
Like a little, not serious. Like
I'll agree that you should not lie. Period.
Yeah.
One, because the foundation of every relationship is trust, and although you can never look through the eyes of somebody else and tell how big that lie is.
Yeah.
Like it could be somewhere. It's like, okay, did you eat today? And
Yeah.
we lie, say, nah, I ain't ate. No, we just had cookout. We don't know that they gonna blow up because in their mind they don't want to hear
Yeah.
because you said that you hadn't ate. They done made a whole spread for you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, honesty is best because on the other side of it, you never know where the other person's mind is at. You don't know what they planning. You don't know what they got going on. So that
Yeah.
lie, even though it's a firecracker on our side, it's a piece of dynamite on their side.
Yeah.
So just be honest and it makes stuff a whole lot easier. All right. Y'all read. All right. The second question, it was, if you have sex with someone, is that considered a relationship?
No. You have to be upfront about your intentions when dealing with someone else, because you don't know where the man's head is at and you don't know where the female's head is at, because the female can be thinking it's something and the man will tell you it's nothing.
I feel like being upfront with your intentions will cause a lot of the confusion to die down. Like, a woman shouldn't be confused. If you let her know ahead of time, well, this just because we do this don't mean we're in a relationship.
Right.
You know, you got to make your intentions clear when you first starting out. And sex is not, that ain't even leading to no relationship.
And sex is just sex most of the time, you know, unless you are in a relationship.
Right.
Then it's more than that. But if you're not in a relationship with nobody and y'all have just said, okay, well, we just want to have sex, then y'all just gonna have sex. And that's, if it leads to something, if it leads to more feelings, then okay, y'all can discuss that, you know, in a deeper way. But if you're just trying to have sex and you just trying to have sex, that don't mean that we together.
And just say that though.
Yeah, but just say that.
Because a lot of times men have a hard time with just saying that when you could have just said that.
But shoot, man, at the same time, a female had the same problem. If you tell them that, and then they agree, like, okay, well, it can be nothing, and then you keep doing it, and now the feelings involved, even though I done told you, like, I might not be ready for that right now. But some females think they can mold me or mold a man into being ready, when sometimes, you feel me, that's not the best thing to do. Because
Definitely
now
not.
you're trying to force it.
Yeah, because
Right.
that's not, no, it's not
Right.
going to happen like
Right. But I mean, I feel like that's also just, that's the downside of just having sex with somebody. Like, it's always
You catch
You
feelings
can
in
always-
the process.
Yeah, but I was like, how do you draw the line
But,
of like
yeah,
feelings
I was about to
getting
say,
involved?
like once you start getting
Yeah.
feelings, do you just like say, okay, we're not
I'm
gonna
gonna
have
cut you
sex no
off.
more?
Right.
But that's why you only do it one time. You let it go.
I agree. But see, even like the crazy part about it, and I agree. Like, you know, in my opinion, no, sex does not constitute a relationship. Like, a relationship takes a agreement on both sides. Like, we're in a relationship, and even in that, you got to define what it is, because it can be a relationship where I call or text you when I'm free, or it could be where you can intrude on my time whenever you feel like it. There's different levels to a relationship. But to like the point that we kind of like got to just now with it is only reason why I feel like the downside of sex is what you just now said, is that it's impossible. Although people say it all the time that you can have sex without feelings, that's a lie. Like,
Right.
Because you're gonna have some type of feelings afterwards.
Right.
Some type, like, you know what I'm saying, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it's going to be where
Gonna leave
there's
some.
some type of feeling, and even bigger than that, especially like, let's say it's where these two people are like, not saying connected on Facebook or something like that. When that person's name pop up or it come by, it's going to trigger something either on the
Yep.
female side or the male side. So that's why, like, just having sex, it's kind of hard to say, okay, well, we're just having sex, because every time I lay down, they get to that climax or whatever it is, it took some type of emotions or feelings or something.
Right.
So I didn't hop into bed, lay
With
beside
somebody
you,
random.
and that was it. Like, no, it had to
Right.
be something. So it's kind of hard to say that, okay, we're just going to have sex and that's it, because just in my experience and my limited experience in life, what I've heard from people is that it always leads to something else.
Right.
Which kind of like where you have to go back to the original question, okay, is this a relationship? Okay, we said no, but then now we have sex 3 times a week. I kind of like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of changes stuff a whole lot. So it's a tricky question. I think it's a slippery slope. You should define what y'all doing beforehand. And if it ain't going to lead to a relationship, it might not even be worth it in the end, because
Because having sex with people lead to is risky you know, because it comes with so much.
And then at the end of the day, it's like some guys, most guys would be like, they want to have sex with you like every day of the week. Going, oh, they don't want you to catch feelings.
Mhm.
Right.
But my thing is, no, we're not gonna see each other every day. Because why would we see each other every day when we know it's not that level?
Right.
You know, that's what
Yeah,
it just
somebody
that
every day.
just confuses things even more.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense that way.
You ready for the next question? Why can't you be straight up about your intentions, specifically when dealing with multiple women?
You know,
Okay.
Not
meaning-
really, because of
meaning-
the reaction.
yeah, so meaning, okay, say for instance, you're talking to 5 different women, but you want to be with one seriously, but you don't want to be with this one seriously.
And
You
you,
just
tell
want to
her,
hang around and sneaky link with
and
her.
you tell
but
her,
you telling her, you know, something different.
I'm not ready for a relationship, and forget the with you
Well,
part.
All right,
Well,
with you was silent.
I think that the question was, why can't you be straight up with your intentions?
With everybody.
With
multiple-
everybody.
With
Okay.
all of your partners.
So that again is a question where a man can. Let me first say that. Like anybody can. And I'm not gonna limit this. When I answer my question, I'm gonna say women and men because I look at everybody equally. Women and men can be upfront and straight up with their intentions and what they want from if they dealing with different multiple people. I do feel like it's where some people that aren't at a level of maturity, they're sitting up there trying to play the pick of the litter and trying to figure out which one is best. They smoking different strands of weed to find out which one get them the highest. And they don't realize that while they're doing that, they're playing with people's feelings, their emotions, and everything else. So a person can be straight up. It's just on them to have the level of maturity where I believe that when you're truly a mature adult is when you can put it out there your intention for somebody, understanding that, okay, they might not look at it the same way I do. Me saying this might end our relationship, but I'd rather be upfront with them. Well, I guess a relationship is wrong. Our situationship. This may end it, but I'd rather do that than have to sit up here and keep on playing the game because it's
Right.
exhausting. Like anybody that's ever
Okay.
done it will
But
tell you.
that's being an adult.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And so
that's
it
being an
all
adult.
goes back to the level of maturity that a person is at. Because if a person is mature enough, they will say it like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell you, and like, hey, how you take it is how you take it.
Right.
If you stay, you stay. If you don't, you don't. It don't mean that I love you any less. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's your choice, your decision. I told you what time it is. If you choose to still partake of this, you choose to partake of it. But it just it goes back to a level of maturity, and a lot of times, unfortunately, many men and women don't reach that level of maturity till later on in life, or till when something drastic happens where they got in a serious relationship, like a serious thing where they almost died because somebody done spazzed out on them, and that's when they click like, oh, I shouldn't do that no more. But
But you know, because
that
I've been there. I've been that person. You know, as a woman, I've been that person.
Mhm.
Talking to 2 guys and then end up in a relationship with one. They like, well, I thought you wasn't ready, you know. But, you know, that was my fault, you know. As a woman, I'm woman enough to say that, you know. I led them to that, you know. So that was like, I should have been upfront about my intentions, you know, at that point.
Mhm.
So, you know, you're right. It's not just a gender thing because men and women both do.
Yeah.
But you know, that's a growing process because when you're younger, you don't care about stuff like that.
No.
Right.
you when you're younger, you're actually looking at the world. You're actually learning. That's why, honestly, for people that get involved in serious relationships at a young age, it's wonderful. Just go into it, understand that y'all are going to go through a whole lot of stuff and learn a whole lot of stuff together, and that's part of it. Because I don't care how mature that we think we are, there's always more out there to be learned, and there's always stuff out there that you haven't seen. And until you're in those situations where you literally standing back and you looking at it and you thinking like, damn, how the hell did I get in this situation? You won't understand it, like, you know what I'm saying? So, as far as the multiple partner thing, the best thing is not to do it at all. But if you are going to do it, go ahead and be upfront and real about what your intentions are.
Right. And it also leads to the other person asking why wasn't they good enough, you know. That's where that question comes in at. Why wasn't I good enough, you know, to be locked in with you or whatever the case may be. And I feel like that's very traumatizing.
Right. There's a lot of traumas that people carry from one relationship to the next because of somebody playing with their feelings. Like when it comes to certain people have abandonment issues from somebody playing with their feelings. So I feel like it is definitely important to definitely be straight up and honest with people so that they know exactly what to expect and it doesn't create this extra trauma that's unnecessary because we're all still trying to heal from stuff in our childhoods, you know, and you just don't want to be carrying around that baggage of everything, you know, that somebody else has put you through.
Right.
As a good old guy, Charlamagne the God saying, hurt people. So
Right.
Exactly.
That's
That's
right.
the best
And
thing to do.
that's-
And that's a
That's
topic
like
thing
that's a
up, yeah.
continuous thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Definitely.
somebody do that to you, you're gonna be like, okay, well, it seems like everybody's doing this.
Mhm.
Let me go ahead and do it too. Now
Right.
you're gonna hurt somebody. It's
And
they
then you
probably
didn't
their first
even-
They
relationship
had,
or
right,
something.
they had
But
good
I will-
intentions for you.
I will say this, that now that, since we was on the topic of maturity, you can mature to the point where somebody can do something you don't even do nothing in return. And that's the ultimate level of maturity.
That's
Yeah.
too mature for me.
Well, no. you say that now, but you start to weigh stuff out, and you like, you know what? Because the thing about doing something to somebody else is what you get into a tit for tat thing,
Yeah.
and you have to really be truthful with yourself. Like for instance, for me, I consider myself a type of person. I'm strategic, like, and I know at the end of the day, I'm always looking at everything like, yo, I gotta win. And I take a step back, and I've done that in my life, and like in all aspects. And I think like, okay, is it worth taking on the challenge? Like even if I get done wrong, is fighting to the point that I win really worth it?
Mhm.
Because you gotta like a person have to really take a look at themselves. Like, okay, I know I'm willing to go the distance, which could hurt another person just because they hurt me, but is it worth it? You know what I'm saying?
But it
Right.
can also
So-
hurt you in the end too.
Yeah, it will, because you have to look back at yourself and be like, dang, I can't believe I let myself go
But
that
you-
dark
and
or
you
that
know,
deep.
I've been there, from destroying people's stuff, you know, because I'm hurt about something. But at the end of the day, it's like it was pointless to do it, you know, because it's like, why did I even do this?
What-
I'm talking about breaking Xboxes, bleaching clothes.
And
everything,
then you go
key
back and look at it, you be
and then
like,
I'm like-
how did I allow this person to get me? And like that's my biggest
Yeah,
thing.
like, why did I
I'm
even
real big
do
on
that?
self control. So I'm
Yeah.
like, why did I let somebody get into this?
And a
point?
lot of stuff is in the moment.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just in the
So
moment.
when-
Sometimes you
and
don't think
And when
before
you think
do.
about it after, you're like, man, that was
I
so
shouldn't have
stupid.
done that,
Why
right.
did
But I
do
think
that?
for me, it's like the amount of energy. Like I feel like I can be a little lazy sometimes. So like it take a lot of energy to like be mad
Right.
and to try to get back at somebody all the time. Everything that you have to do to prove a point to somebody else when you could just be like, look,
I don't care.
it ain't even there.
Yeah, 'cause
Right.
At the end of the day, even after you've done all that, you know, you left with 3 decisions. And this is how I look at life. You're either going to address it and try to change it, you're going to let it go, or you're just going to sit up there and accept the behavior.
Right.
Those are 3 options. And even after being mad, doing whatever it may be, you still left with those 3 decisions.
Right.
Either I'm going to accept what this person did and let them continue to do it, I'm going to ask them to change to see if they change, or I'm going to just let the whole thing go. And those are your 3 options before you even
Before
went.
you even
before
did
you
all
do it to
that.
1,000.
Exactly.
So that's why I say like there is another level of maturity where you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna put these 3 options in front of it before I go crazy,
Right.
not after I go crazy.
Because
Like, you know what I'm
everybody does not deserve your energy like
saying?
that at all.
And a lot, some people even play on that.
Right.
They play on the fact that
They
okay,
know how to
I
make you
want it.
mad.
Yeah, so whenever you allow somebody to know what makes you mad, you give them the key to your car.
Right.
I ain't gonna let nobody drive my shit but me. Like you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm not gonna give you the option to get me to that point. I'm gonna give them 3 options. And that's it. Like you know what I'm saying? Because if I give you that energy, I'm giving you power over my every move.
Right.
I can't go out and have fun. I can't even have a conversation. I'm
Now you
sitting
know
up
my
here-
triggers.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
And I
nah.
think sometimes a good mental note is to like think about it. Sometimes I just be like, I'm gonna sleep on it because if it's still bothering me tomorrow, if it's
True.
still bothering
I'ma
me in
talk
a few
about
hours,
it.
then yeah, then I need to address it.
To get biblical for
Right.
a moment.
But
They say never
now,
speak out of
right.
anger.
Right, but
Right.
if you do something to me right now and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go at it as it is, then yeah, I'm just doing it out of anger. But if I just sleep on it and think about it, I might wake up tomorrow and say, you know, it's not even that deep. It's not even worth it.
Right.
Then you done saved yourself from something, you know, that you could have did.
Definitely saved yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's our next
Right.
question.
Next question.
You can go ahead and read it.
So, when going from just communication to just being in a relationship, does it depend upon the amount of time, or is it both parties that agree with they are committed?
I think I might
Say
tie
that.
that
So
wrong.
from going from a talking stage to a relationship,
Yeah, like when going from just communicating and talking to being in a relationship, is that dependent on time, or is it when both parties say, okay, we in a relationship?
Definitely
You
when
can
both
put a time-
people-
yeah, you can
when
put a
both
time
people-
limit on
right.
it.
If
When
we
both
say
people are
tomorrow,
ready.
then it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you can't say, okay, I'm gonna talk to this person for 3 months, I'm gonna talk to this person for
Right.
a year, then we'll be ready. Because even when you get to that 3-month mark, or if you get to that 1 year mark, you might not be ready, you know.
Right.
But maybe you could say, okay, this is my person. I'm ready today. I'm ready tomorrow, and y'all both, you know, agree on that. Then you just move on how y'all feel,
Right.
You know,
Because
on that
putting a
mutual
time
feeling.
limit on something doesn't mean anything at all.
Right.
Like at all. Like
You
if
can
when
wait a
someone is
year.
ready for you, they're gonna come get you.
Right,
You
Like
can
they're
wait
not
a
gonna.
year and then y'all still ain't ready. You know,
Right.
you still can't get it.
Right.
right.
That's good. 'Cause
So
you
how
know-
do you know you're ready? How do you think you know that you're ready?
That's where reassurance come in at. I feel like that's where
That's
you
a good
like y'all
That's a good question.
expressing your feelings towards each other, making sure y'all on the same page. Y'all like that constant reassurance is what how y'all know that y'all ready for a relationship.
So piggybacking off that, reassurance. Why is it so hard for a guy or a female to give reassurance when it's needed?
I honestly don't know, because I feel
I
like
don't
that's
know.
something like when you into somebody like that, it's supposed to come easy. Like sometimes you
It
just
comes
wake
natural.
up and
Yeah,
you're just
it's true,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna do this for him, I'm gonna do this for her because I know that he or she's gonna like that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I feel like reassurance isn't just saying, you know, I love you, I like you. I think that, you know,
It's going the extra mile.
right. It's just saying,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna make him breakfast this morning, or I'm
Right.
gonna, you know, clean out his car today, or
Right.
something. You know, something
So
that you know they're gonna
reassurance
like.
should be like
It's
more
natural.
than
Right.
just making
Telling
sure.
somebody.
Yeah,
Right.
more than just telling somebody and making sure they know how you feel. It's about showing them.
Right. You're definitely showing them how you feel.
Because love is action
Yeah.
Definitely.
all day.
So, guys, why is it so hard for you all to tell your ladies how you feel or giving your ladies reassurance?
Shoot, I don't really think it is. I mean, maybe for different people,
Mm-hmm.
but like for me, I ain't never really been the type to just pour all my emotions out. But I feel like part of my reassurance with her is her knowing, like, now I'm at the point where if there's something going on, I'm gonna tell her how I'm feeling. Like, so that's part of the reassurance too. Like she knows I don't really talk a lot, but she knows like if I got to talk about something, I can talk to her about it. So you feel me? That's kind of some of the reassurance right there. Just her being able to, us being able to define each other.
Right. That's
So little stuff
understandable.
like that.
And I think that
Oh, you go.
I think that you also have to like love people in their love language,
Yeah.
not
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 yours,
yours, right.
To,
figuring out how your partner, you know, receives things. Like, you know, just because you like to give gifts or you like to receive gifts doesn't mean that your partner is really
Just
heavy on
giving,
that. Maybe they
yeah.
just like kind words,
Right.
or maybe they just like,
Affirmation,
you
acts
know,
of service.
touch or
Yeah.
something, you know. So it's loving them the way they want to be loved, not just because, not
Like
just
you
the
wanna
way
be-
that you
You
want
wanna
to
be
give it.
loved,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've witnessed the fact that you could give somebody all the gifts in the world, but they still won't understand or feel like you love them
Right, because
because
that's not
that's
their
not
love
That's not their
You
love
didn't even
language.
do what I wanted.
Yeah,
All you had to
right.
tell me was you love me.
Yeah, you didn't have to
Right.
do all that. That's
Right.
not
And
what they
I
want.
think that's the hardest part about a relationship is trying to understand what their love language is. Like, sometimes you really just have to keep trying until you figure it out.
Try them all. 'Cause
Yeah.
mine all five.
You have to literally keep on trying until you figure out what their love language
Or y'all can
is.
take a survey and find out what each
Right.
other's love language
Yeah.
is and share those results
Right.
to make it easier.
Right.
Something like that, you know. But yeah, just I think, and that also just come with being in tune with your partner.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
have bonding with your partner to figure out what it is that they like.
Learning your partner. Learn everything about them because that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely learning your partner.
Yeah.
Because jumping into a relationship, that's just,
Is not it.
yeah.
Right.
And figuring out where they come from too. You know, figuring out where they come from, what kind of people they're around, what their family is like.
How they grew up.
How, yeah, the
All
things
of that
that
is
sometimes
important.
are the things that they went through. That'll tell you like what they need in life, or what they need out of a partner.
Right. The kind of love they need to receive
Mm-hmm.
because it's different levels.
It's we were talking about what were we talking about? My memory's
Why is it hard to give like your lady reassurance?
Yeah. Why is it
So-
hard to give reassurance? You know, we think
Oh, it ain't hard.
Aww.
You feel reassured.
Yes, I mean, I definitely feel like when it comes to, I mean, me personally speaking from, you know, my particular relationship, it's not something that's hard to just let somebody know that you care about them. You know, you can give them flowers if, like, you know, just show any type of thing. And I know sometimes guys be like, oh, she might not like this or she might not like that, but it's just a thought that counts, you know. And if you with somebody that don't like it, that means they're just ungrateful, and you don't really need to be with them in that case. But I mean, it's not hard to please women, as some men say.
Maybe not.
Right.
You know, just try.
Because a man that really likes you, he's gonna
Try.
at least.
A trying man is better
And
than.
for all men out there,
Africa.
try 7 times. If you fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. Because it's like that. You got to keep trying to figure out what she likes, like what's her buttons. The same way how we can figure out what's her trigger to make her mad. Work just as hard to figure out what her trigger is to make her happy. And vice versa for women. Do the same thing for a man. Like I said, because I heard y'all talking about it, it's true. Like, some people it's not gifts. Some people it's just an encouraging word. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to say, I believe in you. Could be their pair of Jordans. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really, and then it's also about putting in the time and the effort, having patience, and just truly loving that person. Because if you do all those, you'll figure out what gets them to that point of giving reassurance. So just put in the time and the effort with them. You know, you get there.
All right, next question. Why do men pursue women that they aren't ready for? So, like, why do y'all be disturbing women when they be in peace?
Right.
And like,
Yeah.
you
You
know,
could have left me alone.
Your cookies is not good.
My true answer is honestly, when I was 20, I went to a car lot and I tried to buy a Lamborghini. I knew I ain't had the credit for it, but I tried.
Once you try it.
I'm just kidding.
You just wanted to see
I
how
want
it
to
goes.
see if they might.
Yeah,
I want to mess around.
right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like they gonna keep. But honestly, it was a joke. But like seriously, that's how we think as men. And it's not necessarily that we aren't ready for it, because it's no way of telling. When a guy see a female across the street, the first thing he sees is the exterior. Like, I see how you look. Then I introduce myself. We have a brief conversation. Okay, I understand that you don't talk like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you actually can hold a conversation.
Yeah.
That's cool. Outside of that, you really can't dig too much deeper past the surface. So it's not really where guys pursue women that they're not ready for. They see something, we see something we like, we pursue it. If we are given any type of leeway, we're gonna continue going. Like, we're gonna think to ourselves, like, okay, this is working. Now, once we get back to what we was talking about earlier, when identifying our intentions and all that type of stuff. Now, a woman tell you her intentions are, okay, she looking for a committed relationship, this, that, and third, and you know as a fella that that's not what you're trying to do, you should go ahead and backpedal up off of that. But in the very initial pursuit of like trying to talk to a woman, most guys, it's not that we looking for something that we can't have. Honestly, because in the man mind, unless he's super confident, most men think, like, okay, well, the woman that they might have, they didn't think that they could get her. Because there's no guarantee that, okay, when I holler at her, she's going to give me her number. She's going to actually like me. So it's not necessarily a pursuit, knowing that, okay, I can't live up to the expectation that she has. It's just, we go into it with no expectation of what y'all want.
Right.
And that's formed afterwards. But it's on us to be responsible enough to backpedal off of it and realize we ain't on the same page.
right.
Right.
And it's that responsibility part.
Yeah. Responsibility.
Do y'all have any more questions or anyone else want to add to it?
It said, should a day with no verbal communication affect your relationship?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a crybaby.
No verbal.
Yes. I feel like it
No.
should. It is going to affect the relationship, because that communication is everything. If you need a mental day, I'll let you have your mental day, but you have to tell me that you need a mental day.
Right, you
Because
need to
you
verbally
just,
communicate
you
to
can't
them.
just go with
Maybe
the whole
no,
day
right.
without talking to me and I don't know
Right.
what's going on.
Right.
So question, if they texting you, but they ain't talking to you, does it affect the relationship?
I mean,
I mean,
texting
So, like,
is
it-
just
they
communication.
still communicate.
But you
Yeah,
know,
so,
if you do a no call, no show.
Oh, no.
Right.
I can say as the men council, we talked about that outside. We said, no, that's not what we talk about. Like, Cause I was like, well, we all said outside there, like, nah, that gonna be a problem. Like,
Yeah.
even on our side, we gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Like,
Would you be okay if I took a
Yeah.
visit?
did your phone break? We need to go buy AT&T. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Something wrong with your fingers?
Right. You got carpal tunnel?
Right.
And that don't even work because now you can just say, hey Siri, call such and such. You
Right.
let me know something. But we was just talking about like a day just, let's say there's a day that a guy just running around doing stuff. What's a day that he with the fellas? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all already know, okay, today he's going out, it's a Saturday, he with the fellas, they just chilling. Is it okay for him not to necessarily call, but as long as he's texting?
Yeah.
Texting is fine
Yeah.
because it's natural for women to call and check in.
Yeah.
It's natural. Like we text and check. Well, we'll text you and be like, "Are you good? Are you okay?" Because we know that you're with the guys. You know.
And
But-
he's checking in.
It's just checking
Or
in,
just
making sure
telling
you're
me in the
good.
beginning, hey, this is what I'm doing today. We might not talk like that, but I want to let you know that this is where I'm at.
Exactly.
You know, and
Right.
halfway through the day, you good. You know, at night, all right, did you make it home? You know, little
Right.
stuff like that. We don't have to have a full blown conversation
All day long.
but you need to let me know that you alive. Send
Right.
a smoke signal or something.
Exactly.
Anything, really.
I agree. But, you know, if it was me, I ain't getting no communication. I'm going to start checking the cell phone towers like, yo, is they down or something?
What's going
Is it an
on?
outage or something? It's a major outage. Boy, it done went on about...
It's been 17
They
hours.
hit you with that big boy, the light that came on and you ain't came home, you ain't from home. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Better get something.
Why do men stop doing the things that they were doing to get a woman? Once they get a woman, why do they stop?
Yeah. You understand? So the things that it took to get a woman,
Yeah,
What you saying?
why don't you do it?
tell,
now?
we don't do that in.
Hey man, we still
Yeah, if anything, we want to upgrade what
Right,
we
you feel me?
do. But that's,
we first got together.
I think what y'all mean is...
A lot of guys get too comfortable.
I was about to say, you
They get too
keep
comfortable.
boy, you took the words out of my mouth. Like,
They definitely get comfortable.
But I mean, that
I
goes
feel like
back.
it's on both parts too.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be like, all right, I got him already. We
Yeah,
good.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? You throw that thing back both ways, left hand right now, you only go left. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happened, baby? You got a flat? You need a tuner? You need to get a line? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He used to take you out on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now he gonna take you out on Tuesday. What happened to your chest short? They cut your hours back out? Tell me something. I need to know.
What's going
I
on?
need to know.
Right. But it be the
Try
simple
Jesus,
things.
not me. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
But I also think it could be a life thing too.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like if a man just stop doing everything, he really don't like it that much.
Yeah, I think that go back to that pursuit thing where he
Yeah,
wanted
right.
you, and
Then
whatever
got
he was
you,
looking
like,
for.
he figured out like I don't know, that's all that.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
So anytime a person switch up what they was doing, like I think it's more or less like they either got super comfortable or they're no longer interested.
Yeah, and so I had a situation. The person was trying to pursue me for the longest. I'm talking like years. Doing everything. So if I'm like, all right, let's give this a try. Get into the situation, and then it's like, all right, you mine, you ain't going nowhere. We're gonna be together, and that's just what they gonna stand on.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're not doing the same things that they once was doing
Right.
to get me. So because you saying we gonna be together forever, that means you feel like we locked in. It don't work like that because you gotta continue to do what you did to get me.
Right.
All
That's why I
them
like
years.
Because something
Yeah.
that you did caught my attention.
Exactly.
Right.
Like
And I
no.
also want to put something out there that my mom told me, and I find it to be true. To be honest, my mom always said, she said, Ty, never start doing something that you can't keep up. And some
Right.
men do that,
Stop
which is, I take that back.
Right.
Don't
Men-
introduce me to
Sorry,
a vibe you
sorry,
cannot
sorry, men that
maintain.
watching this, let me backtrack. People, men and women, that to be equal with it. We set up because we want to show the best version of ourselves. So let's say it is where I just now met him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting edible arrangements and flowers. Me knowing, okay, I can't keep doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the best thing to do is not do it in the first. Don't do it where it becomes a consistent pattern.
Exactly.
Because honestly, all of us identify patterns. If I'm used to you sending me something on every Wednesday and you stop it after a certain point, I'm trying to figure out why did you stop.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's important for us as people to be cognizant of what we're doing at all times. Like, let me not start a pattern, because once I start that pattern, if I break it, the other person is looking for why did it break. You know what
They
I'm
feel
saying?
like they did something
And-
wrong.
somebody
yeah,
else,
so-
And then
so-
they
like,
say
what
they
happened?
And if it's a reason why, okay, say that reason, but you can't just stop, just cold turkey and just like, okay, well, I'm just not gonna do it no longer because we're together now, or I got you locked in, or whatever the case might be. You gotta keep on doing what you was doing, and don't start doing something. You can't keep it up. It's like a car. Don't go out there and go get a Benz if you can't. Keep a Benz up.
Right.
You ain't got Benz make this money. Don't go get a Benz.
Right.
I got to make this money, sir.
Right, but I will also say like it's a lot of ungrateful females too.
Definitely.
Like I think that a trying man is better than any other kind of man. Like if you got a man and he gonna try, like he might not know how to do something, or he might not be, you know, super knowledgeable on this one thing that you like, but if he try, that should be enough. You know, he tried. He didn't, you know, just not do it at all.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
I mean, because honestly, people gotta understand that what you're looking for is not perfection. You're not looking for perfection. You're looking for progression.
Right.
Every day that a person gets up and they're trying harder to be more of what if you identify a problem and they're working every day to fix it. Let's say it's a smoker, and you tell them like, okay, I don't like you smoking cigarettes, and they smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, and they cut down to half a pack. To a person, it might be like, man, you still smoke. But to that person, it's like, yo, I'm trying my damnedest to stop.
Right.
So it's the fact that they got progression. That's what counts. Is a progression. So like, yeah, as long as the person's showing progress, even if it's an inch, hey, you gotta give them credit for that inch. 'Cause you don't know
Yeah,
how
they
long
go
it
a
took
long
to
way,
get.
honestly.
And
Yeah.
acknowledge their
Yeah,
progress
you don't know
too.
how long
Right.
it took them to get to that point.
You don't know what made them start doing that in the first
Yeah.
place.
Mhm.
And a lot of people get into like relationships and they're not willing to compromise. Like sometimes when you get into relationships, you have to be willing to compromise. Like you were saying, wait, okay, I can't stop smoking, but I can at least cut back. That's like a compromise with that your significant other. And I feel like that's so important. You have to be willing to grow with each other and also make that compromise.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to compromise, and that's the bad thing about it, because they're going to be stuck in their ways. But that's also a part of maturing. You have to grow up at some point.
Right.
True.
And I think it's also, you're not going to get everything that you need out of that one person. It's like they talk about like the 80-20 thing. Like you're going to have 80% of what you need out of one person. But as soon as you go looking for the other 20%, you're going to be stuck with the 20 and
Exactly.
you lost your 80.
And you lost your
Right.
age.
Right.
So you should, you know. But, you know, everybody not going to be able to be that other half
Right.
every single day.
Exactly.
Everybody's going to have their days. Sometimes you might have to pick up their slack
Right.
because one day is just not there
Not
for
there.
them.
Right.
And that's the importance of relationships. Every day is not going to be rosy.
Right.
You have to understand when I believe in connections, and I believe that you have to know when your partner is hurting or when your partner is going through things without them actually saying it out of their mouth. You have to pay attention to their body languages. And I feel like a lot of people, they just like, oh, you know, just leave it alone. They don't say anything or pay attention to their spouse, or they just spaz versus saying like, okay, was your day okay? Like, you okay? You know, they just start
Right.
spazzing out without asking questions to make sure the other person is okay.
Right.
And I think it's important to have somebody that like balances you out. Like I might not be, you know, the best at this, but he pack what I lack, you know, or you know, vice versa. Like I feel like it has to be like that because, like you said, we're not gonna always be able to give that 100% all day, you know, all day, every day. You can't be everything for everybody at all times.
Right.
So if I'm missing out on something, you might need to pick up that slack.
Have a next question? Y'all have any more questions?
Oh, yeah. Should the amount of money someone makes have any bearing on the relationship?
No. I remember what you said. You had said something about
About a house?
no, but you said just because it's this person today don't mean it's not going to be you tomorrow. You know, so just because I got it today don't mean this person isn't going to have it tomorrow, or just because I got it today don't mean I'm going to have it tomorrow. So I don't think that, you know. Now I ain't saying be no bum, because don't just be sitting there and don't do nothing.
Right.
That's the
You
thing.
gotta have
Like
some
you
type
gotta have some type of drive. You gotta
have
want right.
You
You gotta want up to
get
get up and
it.
get it every day, because you don't. If you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't get up and try, you're not gonna eat.
Exactly.
That be
Right.
a lot of female problems too, though, because a lot of females is not doing anything, but they want to be catered to.
But
And they
it's
want
bleaching.
And
and
that-
Birkins, and they want to Dior.
And it makes us look bad because we work hard.
Right.
And you know, guys like, all y'all want us to do is pay y'all bills when we first meet y'all.
And
I don't
women-
need you to pay my bills.
Pay my own bills.
I mean, that is a true statement. Like, but I don't want to talk about no specific groups, but there's some type of girls out there, itty girls. But for real, like they changed the whole
They set
the
that
whole
bar
way.
high for women.
And the thing about it is that some that men and women gotta realize. For every female out there, listen, do not sit up there and listen to Cardi B, City Girls, and everybody else and think this is how they actually operate in their
They are
home.
not in our
Like
tax
literally,
bracket.
literally,
Not
Cardi
right.
B went to sign 5 divorce papers and got back with Offset. Beyonce found out about Jay-Z infidelity and still stayed with him because of the simple fact that within a relationship, you're gonna go through certain stuff. And for guys out there, do not sit up here and be that type of guy that sit up here, you listen to Bootsy, everybody else, that F whoever, this, that, and the third. But yet they going home to their wife laying up. Like, you know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? Understand that is pure entertainment.
Exactly.
But entertainment has infiltrated society so much that it's people out here that literally think, if I don't go get you a Birkin bag or go get
That
you a
means
Louis
right.
Vuitton or something
You
like
can't be
that.
with
Oh,
right.
no, it makes them think that this person is a bum. If I'm going to spend that amount of money on a Birkin bag when I could have helped you get an LLC, go open you up a business someplace, but yet you focus on that Birkin bag, I'm focused on an asset, not a liability.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it's
so it's where people really have to understand that's entertainment. Don't let that entertainment mess around and F up your real life.
But you know, in this generation, they live solely off of what goes on in the music and stuff like that.
Social
They bring
media.
that stuff into their real life.
Right.
And it's like, are y'all
Comparing
really
their
that dumb?
relationships
Right.
Yeah, are you
to
really that dumb?
celebrity relationships is
Really
Like-
really
a
weird.
sucker.
Cardi B like, I don't cook, I don't clean. Let me show you how I got this ring.
But we
Girl,
everybody,
you don't have to.
everybody stop
Everybody
cooking and
like-
But she
cleaning.
got a maid.
She
She
don't
got
have
a
to.
photo maid.
Right. She don't have
And
to.
yeah, she don't cook, she don't clean, because she worth a bunch of $1 million.
Exactly.
On
She
her
don't
own.
have to.
If you worth a couple $1 million question,
I
you're
ain't
not
cooking
cooking
and
or cleaning
cleaning
either. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you working at McDonald's, you clean at work, but you didn't want to clean in your house.
Right.
Where they do
And
that?
it don't work
Like,
like that.
am I confused? Like,
They be so worried about buying these name brand things. Like, you gonna buy a Birkin bag, but you can't even put the amount of money that a Birkin bag costs in that
In
bag.
that bag.
Right.
And it makes no
Well, you
sense
chase
because you
your
can
man and
invest.
your kids don't even have.
Right.
Your kids not
Exactly.
having.
We lacking
You
something
wanna
here.
go
Your
out.
priority.
We're lacking a lot.
Right, your
Even people
priority.
who don't even got custody of their kids, they be chasing all this name brand stuff. Like, go get your kids back.
Right.
Chase it with
Work on
them.
that.
Did you
Like,
buy
what's
your?
going on?
Did you do your baby's hair today? Did you feed your kids today?
Right.
It's the priorities of the generation. It is because
I got a
of music.
revelation for them out there. You shouldn't be worrying about a Birkin, you should be worrying about Birkin. That baby. Hey,
Oh my God.
hey, that was in my
That's your
Sean knows this now.
Right. Somebody said that's a dad joke.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
How do you know the person you're with is the one for you?
Guys, I need you all to speak first.
Shoot.
Go ahead.
Actually, I mean, I would say I can speak first.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. It's a wife.
It's a wife.
I mean, I definitely will say, like, you have to go through and you have to really examine exactly what it was, because first you got to know exactly what it is that you're looking for when it comes to your significant other. I feel like that saves a lot of time for you to know, like, okay, I'm looking for these particular things and that spouse that I want, or that, significant other that I want. And once you find that person and y'all, start getting serious and stuff like that, you can go down the list and you can, check it off. Like, okay, this is this. But then also knowing how that person compliments you, like, what we were talking about earlier, the whole Slack thing, the balance, it has to be balanced. And I feel like that's definitely so important, because it could be something where you have like insecurities or past, childhood things that you're dealing with, and that person can kind of balance it out and kind of give you, like we were saying, reassurance. It all ties into that. So I feel like to know, like, if that person is at one, is to basically trust that person and know that that person has your the best intentions at heart. Is that what it's saying? Yeah. So just trusting and knowing that. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Next.
All right. Well, I speak 5-0. Like it is like that. Like you'll know. And let me caveat this by saying, never devalue yourself, allow anybody to run over you, allow yourself to be used.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll know when someone is for you, when you realize that come hell or high water, you realize that I'm with this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where you looking at your good days and you preparing for any bad day that comes, because you like, I'm weathering the storm with this person. Like, you know what I'm saying? This ship ain't going nowhere. It's like the Titanic. I'm gonna go down with this shit holding on to the keyboard. It is what it is. And you'll know because you'll realize that the way that the person makes you feel and what is in reality. Because we can't totally rely on feelings, because our feelings sometimes get skewed. But when you can look at the feeling that you have and also compare it to the facts, and the facts line up with the feelings, meaning that, okay, I feel like this person has my best interest at heart. I feel like they care about me. And when you start going down that checklist, like how she said, like, okay, this person checked on me when I was down that one day. When they didn't even, they saw a post that I posted. Like, you know what I'm saying, if y'all not in the same household or whatever, they saw a post that I posted and they called me and checked on me. That's a fact that they care about my feelings. They care about my well-being. When I was broke down side of the road, this person came and like helped me out. Like, you know what I'm saying, you have to go down that fact list and check, okay, what all does this person do to actually support these feelings that I have? And if they got stuff that they do that actually support the way that you're feeling, that's it right there. Like, you can't get no better than that, because they give you the feeling of feeling reassured. They give you that feeling of feeling invigorated and all that type of stuff. But also, it's just not the feeling. The facts is lining up. Like, yo, this person is there. They showing up. They being there. They doing the stuff that they need to do. So you got the best of both worlds.
Right.
You don't want to have that they doing all this stuff, but you not really into them, so you don't got no feeling for them. Or you don't want to be where you got all these feelings for them, but they're not really doing anything for you.
Right.
So you can have both of those, you golden.
Yeah, and it may take some hard times for y'all to go through together, for you to be like, okay, this is that one. Like, you know, nobody wants to say like, okay, we definitely had to go through some things, but I feel like the hard times is what reveal, you know, that, because I feel like when people are under pressure, there's a lot of things that come out in their actions, their words, you know, so it's all about how that person handled, or how y'all both got through those hard times, which was like, okay, we can make this work. We can get through pretty much anything at this point.
Right.
Yeah. Y'all know another question? Oh, we did bonus questions. Okay. Do you feel like women move too fast in the talking stage?
Sometimes.
Why is that?
I mean, just off our situation, like, I wasn't ready at first. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I'm a freshman in college. I'm still doing my thing. Like, but at the same time, like, yeah, I gotta keep this one kind of close, because it's like, I like this girl, yeah. I like this girl, but it's like, at the same time, she want more for us than at the time I wanted for myself. So it was just like, all right, I don't know if I'm ready. And just so y'all know, yeah, she told me she loved me first.
I was drunk, actually.
Drunk woman, don't tell me to. Anyways, it was just like, yeah, like, even though like she was kind of pushing. Sometimes we need that push from a female to kind of be like, all right, if I do want to pursue this person, I need to go ahead and get my stuff together too.
Because they're not gonna wait
Because
forever.
everybody
Right.
ain't gonna wait
Yeah.
forever.
Right. When you're ready, I might
Ain't
like
anybody
that
gonna
more.
wait for you for no year.
Exactly.
But then that be fun. Oh yeah.
I thought he was mid-sentence. Okay.
My situation, well, I had to make sure like we were both ready. You know, I had to make sure first myself, I was ready, and then I asked her about her feelings, and we both came together, and we felt the same way. So that's how we pursued it.
Sometimes you don't need to move too fast.
Yeah, no, you good.
Cut you out. But it don't need to be moving too fast. It just be like the situation, like the timing just not right.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely timing. Because, you know, you can rush into something knowing you're not ready because you want that person around,
Yeah.
but then you end up hurting that person because you knew you wasn't ready, but you still rushed into it.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
So do you think that there's a such thing as right person, wrong time?
definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I be like real
I'm on both sides.
indifferent about it.
No,
sometimes.
I mean, I
Yes.
can definitely speak from my personal experience. I mean, me and Taiwan's personal experience, where, you know, it was like a wrong time for us in the beginning, But I definitely feel like when it was the right time, I mean, we came back full circle better, you know, than we were, or whatever the case may be before. So I definitely feel like the timing can definitely, you know, take a play into it, but it was one of those things where we both were like, okay, well, it wasn't the right time at that time, but let's work on ourselves and focus on ourselves. And we didn't know we were going to eventually come back together, but we did. So I definitely.
I just be thinking like, I just be thinking because, you know, I feel like for somebody that you say you trying to do like life with, I feel like it's really important for me, myself. I have to experience you in just about every stage before I can commit my life to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So even though we're not in the right time, if you say that I'm your person, you know, how can I help you? What, you know, how can I be of assistance? How can I be, you know, better in your life? You know? I guess I kind of think about it in that way more than anything.
It can be like that where it's the right person, wrong time. Like it is true because it's just where even trying your hardest, it might not match up just because it's the wrong time. And like, you know, and there's a certain part of this that we're failing to like take into consideration, which is divine timing. When stuff is supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen.
Right.
The iPhone was made when it was supposed to be made. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything is done when it's supposed to be done. So it is where it can be. Somebody thought about the iPhone before Steve Jobs, I think it was, yeah. Before he started it. But hey, wrong time. And they didn't have technology then. They had so it's important when the two meet up, when you got the right person and the right time, it's wonderful. But I say it's gonna be situations like that where it's the right person at the wrong time.
I feel like too, as a people, like, well, both men and women, like, we have sometimes, well, I know for women we get super clingy, and we don't want to give, but people, you know, guys, there's space, but I feel like space is something that is important, especially when you're dealing with somebody else, because if you don't, like, if that person is going through some things or dealing with some things, you don't give them that space, that kind of makes the situation worse, you know, and that's where it kind of comes into play, where it's like, okay, well, we just gonna go our separate ways, or it turns into this big dispute, you know, versus giving that person their space. So I feel like space is important, as well as, like we say, playing it to time. If it's not that time, just learn to back up, you know, take a few steps back and give space.
Okay, so our last question is, so you know how women are so quick to like stay down till he come up. Why don't men do the same thing? Like, women will stand by you if
While
you
you're
don't
broke.
have, but a man will not. Most of the time, a man will not stay by a woman who does not have.
Right. And they're so quick.
I'm about to say, I almost wholeheartedly disagree with that because honestly, if you look at it from a historical reference, men used to work when women didn't have like a job at all.
Yeah,
So
but
I think,
But that was then though.
Right,
But,
we're talking about
even nowadays, I think that unless, and the gentleman that's sitting on this panel with me, like, ain't none of us are really, we're not broke bummy type people. But I would say for any man that's going into a relationship or like being in a relationship with somebody, they don't go in like, okay, what can this person do for me monetarily or from that standpoint. Most men, like most of us, are trying to pick up the check when it come out. Like, you know what I'm saying, hold that in your pocket, keep that for yourself. I got this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because most men want to stand on and be like, yo, I don't want you. Not say we want a person holding it over our head, but most men are just ingrained in us that, okay, don't let people do a lot of stuff for you because they can hold it over your head.
Yeah.
Right.
So for most men, we talking about like a woman not having money. I think most men, at least I know all three of us, like money ain't what gonna like be a deal breaker. Like if you got money, that's cool. If you don't got money, that's cool. If you don't got money, I'm gonna help you learn how to get money. Like it's like, so I don't think like I know I kind of wholeheartedly disagree with that. But y'all can speak on that.
Yeah, I disagree too. I mean, at the same time, it's just like, I mean, nobody want to be with no bum. Like, ain't nobody trying to be with nobody that's broke. But I mean, like in my situation, Sadia was working, doing her thing. Like she had the McDonald's job and all that. So I'm like, I ain't trying to be broke behind her. Let me show you I got a little money too. So
Like, I saw a post the other day that really had me disturbed, and it was with somebody that screenshotted where the dude was like, hey babe, this is my last time asking, can you shoot me $20 so I can go get me something to
Oh,
smoke.
yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like, what was you high when you typed that?
That to me.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, most men, we like, nah, I just go without. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because
A lot of men won't ask.
what we not about to do is get in an argument, and you sit up there and throw in my face with your broke, and that's why I have to buy your blood.
Hey, look, that's my shit.
Yeah.
When we broke coming over here, I'm gonna be like,
You probably was at her house smoking it with her. Like, no, you said you don't
Put your own hat.
Right. Look, you ain't got money for nothing else. Like,
no, I say it.
But you know-
I would say that to all females out there, listen, if the man sitting up there, he got to be sitting up there. I say it's not perfection, it's progression. If the man don't got the ideal job, he ain't making 6 figures, that's cool, but he can always go to McDonald's. There's plenty of jobs out there. Don't let him fool you, baby.
No, you
Right.
right.
Don't
Right.
play
You can go
yourself.
hold the little stop, slow down sign.
Stop, slow down. He can hold
And
up the
they
side
make
in
money.
front of
Right.
the little
Standing out
mattress,
there.
in front of the little mattress place, spinning that thing like
Exactly.
he can spin that thing. They get paid. He can spin that thing. Don't let him fool you, know.
you gotta have something. You
He
gotta
can go
bring something to
collect
the table.
cans
Right.
and get some money. Don't let him fool you.
Stop
know.
getting
But
the
don't,
men
but don't, but
and
don't
women.
down him now. When he out there, he picking up them cans. Hey baby, you picked
Just
up
like,
them cans today,
right.
boy. You look
What's the-
strong
what's the
picking up them
movie,
cans.
What is it? Temptation? No, what up? Is that the name of the movie?
Which one?
The one. I guess
With Idris Elba in it?
yeah.
I can't remember the
buddy-
name of
buddy
it.
was broke or whatever, and then his invention eventually
Oh.
I can't.
Yeah.
Acrimony?
Yeah.
Acrimony.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a different situation.
Yeah.
Because
She was
he still could have helped.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at the end of the day, you have to bring something
But he
to the
did give
table.
her some money.
At the
At the
end.
end.
After he already
He
moved
was-
on.
he
After
was-
she stayed down
Right,
with him.
he was working on his invention, but he wasn't working no job.
Yeah.
She worked 2 jobs.
He
to pay
didn't
for
bring
it.
nothing to
I
the
got the cure
table.
for cancer. Shit, I
He-
was hoping she would stay around long enough.
I mean, you could at least
I
put some on
mean,
the side.
You could have worked at
Almost
Dollar
on the
General.
weekends or
But
something.
at a gas
if we remember
station.
that movie correctly, what was their problem? Communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he used to stay in there working on stuff and saying it's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. But unless you got like if you doing something like that where you got somebody supporting everything for the household,
Mhm.
I need to be letting you know step by. I need to
Then
let
what's
you
going
know
on?
more about it.
Okay.
Now let the people in research and development know.
Right.
You need to
Tell
know.
me it's gonna
As
work.
soon as I add a new
Yeah.
piece on here, baby, come look at this piece. You see this piece right here?
Right.
Now the
That's gonna
fluid
make it
flow
work.
through here, and
gonna
then
make
this
it
right,
work
this part right here, I'm getting this part next week.
Right.
You gotta let them know, like.
Right, but it's also like you have to pick up other things too. Like, don't just be sitting there working on your
Working on that
invention.
one little
And
thing.
I gotta like come on.
I gotta
cook,
work
get
3
in,
jobs,
wash
making sure
hands.
you
But see,
pay,
like, yeah,
wash your
I was like,
clothes.
Yeah, that's
In
a
that
problem.
case,
crazy.
if you gonna be working on an invention all day, when she come home, dinner should be prepared.
Right.
House should be clean.
House should be
If you got
clean.
kids should be relatively taken care of.
Right.
Because you had nothing to do besides chase your dream. She had to actually
Right.
make
And she
clean
had to
the
make,
house.
she had 2,
I'm
3
talking about run me
jobs.
a bath and everything. Stop
Right.
playing.
Hello?
Right.
Hey,
She need to be catered
I can see your eyes now, and that apply to females too. If he going out there getting that paper,
And you
we
ain't
coming
doing
in,
nothing.
we coming in. That's
You need
still
to do
better be
something.
burning hot.
I'm saying.
I promise you.
something. I
Right.
better
Bath
smell
water better
biscuits.
feel so good. He feel like he in the ocean. I promise you.
I don't cook like that.
Telling you,
We'll
man.
get some food there. Don't worry
Right.
about
You
it.
can order a pizza.
Don't even worry about it.
You better tune into
There's one
YouTube.
thing.
For real.
Try to make
Or
this
something.
We
chicken
gonna
out
swipe
there.
these cards, like what? We gonna swipe
Right.
that card.
You gotta have something to bring to the table.
Always.
Even if it's not, it doesn't necessarily have to be monetary.
At least
But-
bring your own chair or something.
Or something, because you just not.
Something.
People don't
Don't
bring
come
nothing.
here and think
They
you
looking
just
for
gonna
the
have it.
table and the chair, and I don't
I
like
swear
that.
to you.
And a
Right.
plate.
They come to the
Right.
table completely empty-handed.
Yes.
What do you have to offer? Because how are we supposed to build something if I gotta bring
Everything
all
to
of
the table.
materials?
Right.
You better have a plan or something.
That's
Right.
all, the blueprint.
Okay, I got a bonus round question,
Okay.
and it's not even for us. What would y'all message be to the females out here that think that because they got WAP, quote unquote, they don't have to do anything else?
Baby,
Talk to
Does
them.
not
that WAP ain't gonna get
exist.
you shit but a whole bunch of kids.
Woo!
Okay.
Period.
Let me tell you.
Right.
You still have to go to work.
Right.
Everybody
You
like,
still have to cook. You
oh,
still have
he
to
never
clean.
here. Baby, he be everywhere because your WAP, he gonna come back.
Right.
That WAP ain't gonna get you nothing.
He be in
but-
everybody else's house.
Come on now.
Right.
Like, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
You better get a job, have some benefits, and everything.
Exactly.
You definitely have to have more to offer.
Right. 'Cause
It's a wrap.
It's good. It's good when it's good.
But that ain't gonna keep no man around.
Right. It gets you in the
Exactly.
door, but it ain't gonna keep
Why
you
do
there.
females think that because it's so good, it's gonna keep a man around?
And it's
It's
not.
not.
Like,
But
what?
obviously,
Because everybody got
I'm
something
gonna
to
play
give.
devil's advocate. It's both sides, cause niggas.
They be
I-
thinking
we
their
can-
stuff so good.
Yeah, boy, I want
I
to
would
thing
cut you
out, like,
Right.
bruh, like,
Maybe.
That make you feel like you can do
like,
anything.
but
Yeah.
okay.
See, I would never. No.
Right.
Okay.
I don't care how good it
Okay,
is.
maybe you did do this, but shit, like you gave me problems all damn day, like
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
or you didn't help me up around the house, or you didn't do this, but maybe you find somebody who can do both. So now what?
Right.
Now you lost.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I mean, if you feel like that's the only thing you really got to offer, I'm not gonna take you serious.
Right.
At all.
Because,
Yeah,
I mean,
And they love to brag about that.
Yeah, I mean, for everybody,
Yeah,
if
this
only
all
thing
y'all
you,
on Facebook.
if
Y'all
only
see
thing
this.
that you got to
Exactly.
offer is what's below your waist, you ain't nothing but a waist. You feel me?
Exactly.
Heavy on the Bells County.
Yeah.
Period.
Heavy on the
Yeah,
Bells
yeah,
that goes with having something else to bring to the
Yeah,
table.
because when I was on Facebook today, somebody was like, what else do you niggas got to bring to the table besides good D? The dude said, I don't need nothing else. That's all I got.
Oh,
what? No?
whatever.
I mean,
You
it's
better
obviously
go- you better
somebody
go to the
enabling him to
project.
feel that way.
Exactly.
I mean, it might be good for somebody,
But
but
somebody, not
Well,
somebody.
It's good. It's
Because
good. It's
no.
good for somebody that's immature.
Right.
yeah.
As an adult, I can't take your
We're
wife. I
grown.
can't take
Well,
your wife
high
and put on the
schooler.
light
That's
bill.
what exactly.
I can't take you to put. Come on. Come on.
You gotta
This
stick-
conversation-
Like, yeah, got
Come on.
special guests.
He just came in and
Yeah, I
we
mean,
gonna do the outro.
We gotta have more than
you
that.
need a part. I feel like when it comes to relationships and stuff, it has to be so much more than sex. Like, I gotta have a partner, like a life partner, like
Right.
somebody's gonna help me on
We
my
have
good
to
days
build.
and my bad days.
Right.
Yeah, for longevity.
Because there's gonna be times where you don't even want to have sex because you have so much going on.
Right.
Like
You
it's
have a
just
life
gonna
too.
be life. So that's the only thing you building your relationship on, and then it's gonna crumble.
Right.
Take sex out the picture, then what do you have?
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of people don't have nothing to bring to the table.
Nothing.
Right.
You can't even laugh together. Cause
You make me miserable.
He ain't even funny.
I'm depressed here.
Right.
He ain't even funny.
But he got good, but he got good veto.
Right.
Dog.
Right,
He
right.
ain't even funny.
Yeah,
He
that's,
drag you
that's
off
another
the house.
little sidebar for the ladies. Y'all take sex out and during the dating stage and go,
You realize
You
a
gonna
lot
see
of
the-
these
you gonna
men
see
don't
the
have
different
nothing to
side.
And
offer.
we take sex out
Same
of
thing for
relationship.
my young kings too, man. We gotta start fighting back, man. Just as much as the females talk about it, bro.
Yes.
They love it just as much.
Love what?
It.
Oh, it.
Yeah.
They love it.
So
They
it's
love
like,
it. Not for real, but like
sometimes we
listen,
got to take it away
for
too.
whoever it is out there, don't be fooled, man. Sex is wonderful. It's great. All that type of stuff. But it's only a small fraction of your relationship.
Right.
Oh,
Literally,
very
most
small.
times,
Very small.
even if you're an all-night warrior, I promise you give them an hour. There's still 23 of them left in the day. If you ain't gonna do something the other 23 hours, that hour don't matter.
Right.
It really don't. Don't let them fool you now. For like first 2 or 3 times, it's gonna blow their mind. After that, it's gonna pass.
And the better your efforts, what are the charges?
All right, you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this girl talk up. Thank you guys for coming to my girl talk. I hope we have a part 2 soon, and we're gonna see you guys later.
all right.